Afghanistan. Can you hear us, SABO?
I can hear you guys. What's going on?
So glad you could join us. You know, we've got a sampling of your music we're going to play for the audience, but I wanted to touch base with you because this isn't your first time over there in the sandbox.
No, it's not actually. This is actually my first time in Afghanistan, but I spent 2 tours in Iraq.
What did you do over in Iraq? What was your occupational specialty?
My occupational specialty was I was a tanker, 19 kilo in the United States Army.
And you served 2 tours over there in Iraq for our country, and I understand you're a Purple Heart recipient, so you saw the worst of it, huh?
I sure did. I was involved in several countless battles. The first tour and the second tour is when we implemented more of a boots on the ground aspect. So we weren't really on tanks no more. We were basically kicking doors in.
Well, you know, we're so appreciative of your service, honest to goodness, and now you've gotten out of the military, you're a veteran, and you signed back up to serve your country, but in a different capacity. You're over there as a private contractor now in Afghanistan, is that right?
That's correct. I took basically 3 years off to recoup and get back in the game, and I decided, you know what, let me go do my part in Afghanistan.
Well, let's talk about that for a moment. This reintegration, when you got out of military service and you come back stateside, how did you find the conditions here as far as being accepted back into civilian society, dealing with the VA? What was your experiences?
Well, to be honest with you, it was definitely a challenge. You know, it was I don't know how to explain it, but it was definitely a challenge. You know, getting back into the civilian world, it was hard to find a job. You know, countless deployments with the VA. Um, I tried my best to basically, you know, get back in with family. That really didn't work out. Not sure if it was on their part or my part. I'm pretty sure it was on both of our parts. You know, just being in the military for so long, it's not the same. But
So it wasn't all.
like I said, 3 years of being in the civilian world, I just felt like I had that itch, and I felt like it was time to get back in the game at a different level.
Well, now that you went through the VA and you got some disability established, and you talked about the trials and tribulations of reintegrating, what do you think? Now, you were in Iraq before, 2 tours, now you're in Afghanistan. What do you think of the prospects of those guys and gals coming back from Iraq since we've closed down the operations there? They're pretty much going to be facing the same obstacles you face, don't you think?
Definitely. The only thing I can do is just, you know, hope for the best. You know, I'm happy for all the troops coming home. It's going to be definitely a challenge for everybody. Mainly for those who decide to get out and get back into the civilian world. But I can't speak for all the VAs. You know, I just know that the VA corporate in West Palm Beach, Florida, they took care of me. You know, and I hear horror stories on VAs around the United States, and it saddens me. But I know I can fairly say that the one in West Palm Beach, they definitely out to take care of the troops and everybody coming home.
Well, that's great to hear, and unfortunately, what you're alluding to there does exist, and that's the you go around the country and the quality and availability of service is markedly different depending on where you might be and what the staffing levels are for the VA, and they may have gotten a whole bunch of extra money and pumped it into all the facilities, but many of the facilities may not have been able to staff up the right kinds of people that they need. So I'm so happy that you're able to report positive support from the VA that you're talking about there, Jeff.
Well, I wanted to ask you, SABO.
And trust me, to be honest with you, I wish, you know, as far as the VA system, I wish they were all the same to the music. But unfortunately, they're not. And there's some cities and states that, you know, are better than others.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, because you, like Soldier Heart and several other warriors that are making music, producing, writing, and directing different videos and things like that. Did you use that as an outlet to help ease your way back into civilian life as well? Was that like a therapy for you?
I would 100% say that that was a therapy. Um, when I'm at work, I'm kind of multitasking here. Um, it was definitely a therapy. To be honest with you, without music, I probably would have went crazy. But fortunately, I had that outlet where I could write, record, basically be my own boss with the music, and basically help me to grow to a different level where I could come back to Afghanistan and do what I need to do out here.
Now, when did you arrive in Afghanistan? If we don't want to get into too much particulars, but you've been there for a little while now.
Definitely. I mean, I understand the whole Oxford game, but it's funny the way it worked out because prior to me dropping my second and latest album on Veterans Day, I didn't get to really enjoy, you know, the reviews and all that goes on, things of that nature, because I was on a flight to Afghanistan right after Veterans Day, and but from what I hear, the album's been doing good,
Yep.
and I'm here to do a job. I have no idea when I'll be home. You know, that's that, but just playing it by ear.
Well, let's ask a couple questions that maybe we can slip in here. You're in Afghanistan for the first time. How much different are the conditions there than, say, your first tour in Iraq?
As far as it's a little different as far as the people. You know, from the time that I've been here, the people generally actually care. At least where I'm at. At least where I'm at, care. The as far as the weather, it's the same. The culture is the same. Um, just slightly different. But as far as I would basically bring it to more understanding. It's a mixture between living in Colorado and Los Angeles because of the weather and the smoke and smog in the air from California.
Well, that's a nifty comparison to give people a sense of the difference that you're dealing with there. Um, but your mission, is it similar to what you were doing, not being a tanker, but when you were going out into the communities, or what exactly is it that you're able to tell us you're doing?
To be honest with you, my mission is totally different from when I was active Army. I'm currently basically assisting the Marines in guarding the embassy in Afghanistan, the United States Embassy in Afghanistan, and basically just doing my part, making sure that there's no complex attacks, no you know, I can't really get too much into it, but to break it down, I basically assist guarding the United States Embassy in the capital of Afghanistan.
Well, again, we really appreciate what you're doing there. Now, we played the song, a particular track from your latest album, The Walk. Tell us a little bit about that and what your inspiration was for that.
Sure, no problem. Basically, the walk. I was contacted by a fellow veteran. His name is Max Quan. He's a prior Marine. He contacted me via Facebook, and I guess he got word of what I was doing with the music, and he told me that he wanted me part of a upcoming mission that he was going to take place back in the states, which required him walking all 48 states to bring awareness to veterans getting out, bringing awareness to PTSD, bringing awareness to homeless veterans, anything that basically had to do with a veteran. That was his mission, is to bring awareness to civilians on what we go through on a day-by-day basis by walking all 48 states. And I told him, I said, listen, just you can talk to him on the phone, click up. It was a automatic bond over the phone, and he didn't have to say no more. He explained the mission. I loved it. I told him, I would write the song, record the song, free of charge, no worries, and that's how the walk came about. He started his walk around, I believe, September 11th. inspires others to basically march on.
I'm hearing you. Can you share with our audience how they can follow you and your music, as well as some of your other activities, a website or Facebook?
Definitely. Everybody can follow me, you know, along with the group, the Redcon One Music Group at www.redcon1musicgroup.com. They can also follow me at Facebook at Sabo NSAENT. And if they want to get more close to the music, they can follow me at Reverb Nation backslash Sabo NSAENT.
Well,
If you
that's
want to
fan.
find me on Google, you'll find me. S5CCC. Just trying to memorize
Free download.
And do you have some free downloads for the audience that they can grab when they visit your website?
Yeah, definitely. If you go to my Facebook, there's a link there where you can find me on my Reverb Nation.
Well, folks, we're talking to SABO, Troy Cicito, Sergeant, former U.S. Army, and now over in Afghanistan, protecting our embassy, helping out our active duty troops there as a private contractor. He's a wonderful musician. Again, his music is about soldiering and patriotism. We've got him on the line live. He is at work, so we've got to weave through this interview. And we're doing okay, huh, Glenn?
Oh yeah, we're doing well.
But we're always efforting to bring you folks something interesting about the guys and gals that are over there doing this hard work of protecting our nation on the front lines. So, Sabo, you're back with us?
I'm definitely back, and unfortunately, I gotta cut it, but back to what I was saying is basically the links are on my Facebook. It'll take you to the Reverb Nation page where there's free downloads available, and you can find my albums on the Redcon One Music Group website, and basically go from there.
Sabo, much love to you. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for our country and what you have done for our country. Be safe. Merry Christmas. We'll be in touch again soon.
Thank you guys. I know we basically worked hard to try to get this interview going. We tried like I think 2 or 3 times unable to do it, but I'm glad we got it done and coordinated, and I appreciate you guys' time.
And we appreciate it, and stay safe.
We,
Appreciate it.
you bet. Folks, again, that's Troy Cicito, Sabo, otherwise known as Sabo at NSA Entertainment. His music is something to behold. You want to listen for the message. The beat and the rhythm, all that stuff is there. It's mill hop, which we talked about with Soldier Hard. It's for the younger generation, but surprisingly, Glenn, like you shared, the older folks picked up on this stuff because of the message.
Yeah, they picked up on it because of the message. You can actually understand it, unlike many of the rap songs, I guess, is the best comparison. And you know, military hop, and you know, it's a mixture of different genres, as we talked about on a previous show. But it's a genre meant for today, and meant for yesterday, and meant for the future, all at the same time.
Yeah, it's got some incredible overlap, and what I really applaud these guys for doing is injecting the experiences they've had, both on the battlefield and after returning home, into this format, this mill hop, as you described. And the music itself, most of the stuff has some really grabbing beats and rhythms, so I love that. But to be able to understand the words is a real treat because, like you said, so much of the stuff out there in the common songs, these guys are different. Mill hop is definitely different. So I encourage everybody to give it a listen, and you can find all that information and you can link up with these guys by going to avetproject.org. Click on our Facebook icon. Even if you're not a Facebook member, don't shy away. Click on that. You can at least view all the photos, the interviews, and all that good stuff. Lots of news and notes. And maybe it'll encourage you to become a member of Facebook, but you don't have to be a member. Just click on it and get involved and check these guys out because they're doing some great work, not only for our country, but for the communities that they live in. And we'll be back here with more on American Warrior Radio right here on WMEL, the Talk to Me station.